watching Numbskull News, and today we're going to talk about Matt Rhule's punk ass, and we're going to talk about Tennessee. Oh, they got trouble getting a quarterback. But first, let's talk about Matt Rhule. This moron. All right, he wants to talk about the Big 12. Oh, you can go and offer whoever you want. We got to be more discerning here in Nebraska. We got to, I can't, I got to have these guys come to campus. I want to talk to them personally. They got to see us how we practice. I got to see how they practice, blah, blah, blah. Yet, at the same time, Iowa State is out recruiting Nebraska in the state of Nebraska. How does that happen? How is Iowa State, little old tiny Iowa State, in the middle of the corn, is killing you in every possible way Nebraska can be killed? In recruiting, they got you. In success, games won year over year, they got you. They're in bowl games every year. Iowa State's in bowl games every year. They're playing for conference titles. What are you playing for, Matt Rhule? You're playing for your next job because you're going to be out of there. And you should know better. Weren't you in the Big 12 at one time? Weren't you in Baylor at one time and you're doing pretty good? And then you go to the NFL and you flop. You flop like a new Marvel movie. It was horrible watching Matt Rhule in the NFL. Just chasing his tail. Didn't know what the hell he was doing. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. There's no place for arrogance for somebody who's 6-12 in the Big Ten. Shut up. All right? If this is Mr. Day from Iowa State, if this is Michigan, if this is anybody who's won a title or has done something over the last 5 years, okay, I still think you're a prig, but at least I understand the opinion, okay? But guess what? All of these big coaches all over the country, from the Big Ten and the SEC, do they open their freaking mouth about the Big 12? They don't. They shut the hell up because there's nothing to talk about. They recruit on a freaking high level. They don't have to worry about it. Matt Rhule, partner, you're going to be looking for another job. Because let me tell you something. Nebraska gets great ratings. For a team that has been irrelevant for 20 plus years, they get great ratings. They get good viewership. They get fan support big time. Over 2 million viewers per week, per game for Nebraska. All right, all this thought of, AAU, they're not AAU, so they're worried they might get kicked out of the Big Ten. They're not going anywhere. Fox, NBC, CBS, no. Nebraska gets too good of ratings, and they get too good of ratings, they get too much fan support to have Matt Rhule failing to recruit his own backyard. What a moron. And then you want to open your face and talk about anybody else. I'm sorry that little old Iowa State in the corn is out recruiting you in your own state. Maybe get some tape of these high school players. That's what Iowa State's doing. They're recruiting these guys in high school. They know what kind of players they are from the games they play. They don't have to have them come in and do some special little workout for Iowa State. They don't need all that. They know who they are. God forbid they send scouts to their high school. You can't do that, Matt Rhule. What an idiot. Get him out of there. Cornhusker Nation deserves better than Matt Rhule. Anybody who's the head coach of Nebraska should never, ever, ever get out-recruited in the state of Nebraska. Period. End of story. You freaking idiot. Next, let's talk about Tennessee. Everyone wants to applaud Tennessee. Good job, Tennessee. You told old Nico no. You can't have more money, Nico. Get the stepping, buddy. And then what did they... Because you know what they thought. Oh, we'll just go to the Big 12. We'll snatch one of their quarterbacks. No problem. Right? Josh Hoover, if we want him, boom, we got him. Oh, you don't? You offered him $1 million more than what he's making in TCU, and he told you to kick rocks. What happened, Tennessee? Oh, maybe you're not the brand you used to be. Maybe that's it. Here's the thing. Okay, that's arrogant as hell. And they came into the Big 12. That's not the only guy. Sam Levitt. Oh, they probably went to Avery Johnson. They talked to a lot of people. But this is the spring portal. And you're talking about a quarterback. You're talking about quarterbacks who are comfortable in their system. They like and they trust their head coach. They're getting paid big money. And you think you can just go on in there? Put them behind the 8 ball in a new system, in your system? Oh, because the jersey you have on, because it has a SEC patch. You just, no problem, right? Yeah. Maybe there is a problem. Maybe the problem is these kids and their agents and their lawyers, maybe they know, why go over there and start all over again with relationships, everything, uproot your whole life to go over there? Because if it doesn't work, guess what? It's all on you. If Josh Hoover leaves Fort Worth, goes to Tennessee, and they fail, they don't make the playoff, which is it's easy to do, not make the playoff in the SEC. Ask Alabama. That could be Tennessee next year. I don't know what their schedule looks like. It was a cupcake schedule last year. I don't know what it is this year. But if they miss the playoff, then what? It's Josh Hoover's fault. We made it with Nico. Now we got Josh Hoover. We're paying him all this money, this lousy Big 12 guy, and we missed the playoff. Why sign up for that? When you're over here, expectations, I will admit, expectations are a little bit lower in the Big 12. But you can compete at the highest levels. You can get into the playoff. You can get to the NFL. And you can get paid while you do all that here. Here. Now, maybe they could steal TCU's kicker. Give him an extra $1 million. Maybe they could steal a linebacker. Maybe they could steal a running back. But you think you can just go into the Big 12 and jack one of their top quarterbacks? Think you can just money whip them? Like there's no money here in the Big 12. Like TCU can't open up the checkbook and make sure Hoover gets paid so he doesn't want to go. All right. That's what happened with Avery Johnson. It's what happened with Sam Levitt. Here comes Oregon. And guess what? Oregon got rebuffed. Oregon, who just won the Big Ten, got rebuffed. Come on, Tennessee. You didn't think this was going to... It's amazing y'all thought this wasn't going to happen. This is the professionalization of college football. Look at the Cowboys. Look what they had to do with Dak. They had to pay Dak. Why? Because there's nobody else even close with Dak's talent. Even though he's overpaid, but you ain't got no one else out there. And look, you can go into free agency, but you're not going to find another guy on the level of Dak. You're just not. You're going to go into the draft? Well, good luck. Maybe you find a guy, but how many years does that take? So they decided, we'll overpay him. We'll overpay him because at least we got that position covered. Tennessee, you weren't thinking with your noggin. Maybe Nico's a pain in the ass. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. All I've heard is they wanted more money, and we said no. Well, now you're reaping the whirlwind, punk. Now you're going to have... You better have someone in-house. Because at this late stage of the game, and yes, when it's springtime, that's late in the stage when it comes to off-season moves. I mean, we're in the middle of April. We're past tax time. And you're only going to give this kid a few months? I mean, you got to uproot his whole life. He's already getting paid. I mean, whether that's Hoover, whether that's Avery Johnson, whoever, Levitt, whoever, Big 12 or ACC for that matter. I mean, because you know what they were thinking. Oh, we'll tell Nico to go the hell away. We'll just go and steal a Big 12 quarterback. Or we'll steal someone else. Quarterbacks get paid. In all these conferences, quarterbacks get paid. There's NIL money out there for them. Right now, collectives can still pay players. Pay to play is still a thing right now. And you just think you can go and just money whip somebody like people can't match that? It's not like they offered him 4. They weren't going to offer Nico 4. And I'm not saying Nico's worth 4. But he was looking to get overpaid. He was playing. And people talked about Nico like, oh, ha, ha. You know, you screwed up. Now you got to go somewhere else and make half of what you were making. Well, I mean, players do that in the NFL all the time, don't they? They do. They do. I would argue he's probably already overpaid. Did he overplay his hand? Yeah, he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he thought, and his representation thought, whether that's his family, his dad, whomever, they probably thought, hey, this team isn't stupid enough not to write you another check and just let you walk and then have no quarterback. But that's what they did. And now what? Okay, everyone's taking a dump on Nico. Cool. Now it's time to pull down your collective pants and take a giant shit all over Tennessee because they've come to the Big 12 and they've been told to go to hell. No. We're not going to uproot everything. I'm not going to start all over again behind the 8 ball because it's late in the offseason. I got to pick up a whole new system. I got to somehow get chemistry with my offensive line, with my receivers, with my running back in a shorter period than if I had gone in the earlier portal. No. These guys aren't stupid. I don't give a damn, like I said, that you're Tennessee and you're in the SEC. That don't matter. You can get to the freaking high. You can get high up in the draft to the NFL from the FCS. It can happen. We've seen it in recent history. So you can get there from anywhere. It doesn't have to be Tennessee. All right, you still trying to live off of that Peyton Manning mystique? Well, that's over. Now the Manning mystique is over there in Austin. It's not in Tennessee no more. So back to the drawing board, volunteers. You better hope you got a good guy already in house. Hopefully you recruited well. Hopefully this guy learned something. Because any quarterback out there who's having success, I don't care if it's the Big 12 or the ACC, they're not going to uproot their own shit and go to your backyard and deal with your old dog's shit. They're not going to do it. Not at this late stage of the game. So, maybe you shouldn't have unasked another $1 million for Nico so you didn't have to deal with it. But you didn't want to. And I just absolutely love that the Big 12 has said, go to hell. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap. And I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.